Welcome to Oakland, California, where we're finally getting round 2 of the AMA Monster Energy Supercross off, and technically it's the 6th round of the race. And Dunlop Motorcycle Tires Track Walk, and I have the pleasure of my co-host, Filthy Phil Nicoletti.
Yeah.
So Phil, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing awesome. It's blue skies, a lot better than the last time we were supposed to be here in Oakland. Track looks awesome.
Yeah.
The floor's unreal here, nice and big. So you guys will come along and check it out and see what you have in store.
Yeah, we talk about Oakland. This is a big floor, and we talked about the round that was originally scheduled for January 14th. That whole entire week, I mean, it ended up being declared a state of emergency by the governor of California because the water was coming down at over 1 inch a day. Weeks on, just a week or two of pouring rain. And I mean, I did see where some people were like, oh, they could have ran the race and all that. So I actually did some statistics on this, crazy me. So 1 inch of rain over a 1 acre parcel is about 27,000 gallons of water in 1 inch of rain. They were getting 1 inch of rain for days on end. This floor is more than 2.5 acres of land. So we were getting 60,000 gallons of water a day on the ground here.
And what's amazing is that this is the same dirt that they had in the stadium, a month ago, and it doesn't even look like rain had touched it. So it's kind of wild. They had the fell guys come in with Monster Jam and kind of scrape the dirt around and dry it out. And it's unreal what the Dirtworks crew guys can do with some dirt. It's like.
And I saw you talking to the Dirtworks crew, because you are somebody with a veteran like you are, that you actually go talk to the guys that build the track, and you talk about the dirt here. 7,000 yards. A typical football stadium is around 6,000 yards. Baseball a little bit larger, 6,500, but this is 7,000 yards. This is one of the largest floors we race on in the stadiums.
It's unbelievable. It's almost like the Rogers Center. It's just like there's so much room, and like they don't have to skimp on space or make rhythms tighter. They can actually use the entire floor, and it makes a big difference. Even for us with the starting gate, like it's fair all the way across. So when the stadium has that much room, they can kind of make it fair game for everybody. Normally, like Angel Stadium and whatnot, they're kind of tight on space, so inside's kind of super unfair, and way outside you don't have a shot in hell. So this start looks pretty fair and makes me a little more excited because I'm a pretty bad time qualifying guy, so it gives me a shot for the heat race.
Well, so speaking of starts, this is a fairly short start, especially what we've seen this year. About 200 feet before you actually do a complete 180 in the first corner here. So what's your thoughts on this tight short start?
I mean, tight for me is if we don't have to get out of second gear, which sometimes we don't, but this one here we do get out of second, we'll be clicking third, so super tight. I think a lot of guys will push wide as usual, especially in the lights class. They're kind of more brain off-ish, I should say. So
you said it, not me. Exactly.
A lot of them don't use their brain sometimes. I won't hold it against them, but so we'll get to the inside hopefully while they all push wide, and hopefully come out toward the front. That's the plan anyway.
Yeah, the one thing, again, we talked about the length of the track, 2,280 feet. I actually walked with the AMA's Tim Kennedy as he wheeled and measured the entire track. They measure from the center of the track all the way around. And this is the longest race track of the year so far. So obviously when we get to Daytona, that's going to erase that stat. But this is the longest one. We talked about all the 7,000 yards. So great facility here, right away into a tight jump.
Yeah.
And the whole shot line right here, just a few, maybe 240 feet from the time you drop the gate. So what's your thought here? Five jumps here, 5 obstacles.
Whole shot, inside roll 2-2, but I think the main line for racing will be 2-3 from what they were doing in press day anyway.
Yep, you talk about 2-2, man. That's what you're kind of known for.
I take a lot of shit for it too, which is all right.
You do, actually. Every time you're on Mather's show, you're on that. People are always telling me, like, Phil, Phil is the 2-2 guy.
I do the rhythms, just not the rhythms I'm supposed to. I do the opposite ones that are a little bit maybe easier and safer for a 15+1, but I got to get out of that habit. So I'm getting old and stuck in my ways, so it's hard to change me.
Yeah, if I talk to your old team manager, Jeremy Albrecht, J-Bone was telling me, tell Phil's still just 2-2 guy. I'm always trying to get him to jump the triples or the quads, but he's stuck on it.
I go tone deaf, just like a kid listening to their parents. They don't take the words very kindly.
Yep, I did see a couple of guys drift a little outside in press. They did actually let them use this section, but they did not come off the wall jump over here that we'll see later in the walk. They were coming off the starting line doing 2 and then popping 3, or some were doing 3 and 2, but just got 5 here. You can go off rhythm like you said, but I do think that inside maybe just a quick double and possibly a triple, or a single and then double.
Yeah,
like you talked about.
I think it all depends if it can get a rut in that corner to get the 2 pretty clean.
Man, this is some sticky stuff. You got the right mud boots on. I did not get my good track walk shoes on here. That was my mistake. I was doing too much Phil Nicoletti research. Speaking of research and speaking of J-Bone, what the hell? Why did he fire you back in 2018? You're riding for the JGR Suzuki team, and you rode well in Supercross, and then all of a sudden they don't have a ride for you, and you got a good break though. You got to ride the Rockstar Husky in 2018 in the Outdoor Nationals.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to pick my words wisely here. No, it's I mean, it was okay. It was a hard year for JGR. They didn't have the budget and whatnot, and Suzuki kind of had cut back quite a bit. And I don't know, there were some tough times. And the year before that, was promised the whole year. But then when it came down to it, Supercross only. So when it came to outdoors, they're like, hey, we need a guy, because Weston was hurt at that point in time. And so I kind of like filled in. But then after the third round, it's just like, we don't need Phil anymore. And then at that time, I think Dino might have got hurt. And then Bobby Hewitt and Scuba Steve Westfall called me and just like, hey, would you like to ride? So I'm like, dude, I went up to JGR, I said, hey, I'm out. I wasn't going to sit around and beg for a ride at that point in time, and it turned out to be one of my better years in outdoor motocross. And I had a lot of good years with JGR prior to that, but as far as like every moto, every Saturday, it was really good with the Husky boys.
You did perform. I actually looked it up. 24 motos in the season 2018. You had, of the 24, you had 22 top 10 finishes, and your best race, Unadilla, third overall, first time AMA National. I mean, you're talking, I think Marvin Muskin won. I think maybe Tomac was second. You were on the podium with those guys. So talking about a year, incredible year.
No, that was awesome, and it was cool because all my family was there, and it was definitely a memory I'll never forget. So if I could have done it scripted anyway, that was the best way to do it for me.
That's awesome. So you're talking about your family being there. You are from New York.
Yeah.
And New York, talking about where you're from. Tell us where you're from and what it's really kind of famous for.
I tell everybody to originate to New York. Like, everyone thinks New York is like New York City, but I grew up a mile and a half from the original Woodstock, 1969. So Bethel, New York. Maybe my attitude has something a little to do with that. I got maybe a little LSD or acid in the tap water there, so maybe that's why I'm a little different than everybody.
You grow up in the just a few miles from the original Woodstock. Do you ever make a trip back over there and see where the land was?
We go there for concerts, and it's quite famous.
Okay.
No.
He's already, look at this, the KTM
already
group.
Getting smart-ass
AP,
comments.
are you getting smart? What do you think? Is Phil going to go 2-2-2-2 all the way through this section?
2-3 AP.
Oh, come on, 2-3. Okay.
2-3.
I hope it's a 2-3.
So we're coming up out of that 180 right there into this section. Yesterday you got to watch press day. You did not get to ride.
No.
There's 11 jumps in a row here before you make the corner. I counted 16 obstacles before the triple on the other side of the stadium. But, this is a busy group, and the ground is soft here. No question we're going to see some ruts in the face. And you had some video of it that you were watching yesterday with your teammate Enzo Lopes. So what's your thoughts here? What did you see, and what are you going to try to do?
KTM guys, I'll probably get them in trouble, but they actually dartfished some video for me and sent it to me. So it's about quarter of a second faster to go 3-3-3, and then obviously quarter of a second slower to go 2-3-3-3. So it all depends if you can be able to pop the 3 here when it gets rutted and whatnot. So that's going to be the game changers, how the corner forms up.
I've been around long enough to look at when you see slip marks, and there's only been a few riders attempting that jump right there behind our camera.
And I don't know if the camera can see.
I'm going to walk over to the edge over here because this looks like some fall down hazard.
And I don't know if the camera can tell, but it's always hard with the way the sun comes up over the stadium. Certain parts of the track dry a lot faster than the others, obviously.
Right.
But
Yeah, we saw that in Anaheim. Anaheim's notorious because it's the first one in this, Anaheim 1. That right field foul pole corner of the stadium never really sees any sun, so that section always stays soft and wet. And then here you see the sun is already beating down on it. I mean, we're wearing jackets. 39 degrees when I got to the stadium this morning. It's unseasonably cold.
Yeah, my the metal and titanium in the body was hurting this morning when I got up.
Yep.
So
okay. So here we see the jumps right here. Speaking of the Rockstar Husky team, they're lining this thing up. You can see Christian Craig up here too. He's probably one of the more talented jumpers on the track, so he might be trying to line up a little bit more here. Do you think it's possible to pop a quad here? Or?
Quad's not my vocabulary.
Exactly.
How
about some of the other guys' vocabulary? Do you think some of the quads are?
Yeah, most likely. But to be honest with you, with what they were doing yesterday in press day, I don't think it's possible.
Okay,
I think,
gotcha.
On the other side, when we get there, there's a quad that's there, but not in this rhythm.
Okay, sounds good. Well, speaking of Anaheim, I had the fortune of having our daughter come up and hang out with me that day at the Anaheim too. Triple Crown, second main event, and who but the number 69 baby is leading that thing for 8 laps? We were cheering for. And she's like, why are you cheering so hard? I said, because if you know Phil, you got to root for this guy. He's been a journeyman for his whole career. He's in his 30s now. You want to see him win one of the main events. What were you thinking?
I was thinking, damn it, when they passed me. But it was good until I got about the halfway, and then I kind of cracked mentally a little bit. And I started looking at the leaderboard, how much time was left. Then I missed some of the rhythms there, the quad that they had, and I was just like, damn it. And next thing I know, Styles and Levi had reeled me in. My gap went in half, and then it was just like they smelled blood in the water, and it was game over. So I tried. I cracked.
A third place finish in that main was awesome. And then unfortunately, what happened? The crash in the third final crash there, right?
Got a tough block from another lane from another rider, and kind of ended it. Highs and lows.
Well, it was awesome. Like Kitchen, you mentioned he ended up with the overall that day. Kind of stopped the Jet Lawrence, what we thought would possibly. I mean, some people talked about the perfect season, winning the first 2 rounds.
I don't know.
Right there.
Yeah, that Jet, because I mean, I don't think he really cares about a perfect season, to be honest.
Yeah. So we're looking right here at this section here. You can see where the Dirtworks crew has actually lowered the outside jumps a little bit because you're going towards the inside. So the inside would be the shorter distance, obviously, and they're trying to make the lane as even as possible. So they make the lower outside and then the higher inside jump. So if you miss or you clip it, you're going to lose some time. But right here, you get into a pretty good sweeping corner with obstacles in the corner. I mean, what's your thoughts when you're going around, you're leaning the bike? I saw some guys kind of whipping it off this yesterday.
Well, it depends on what rhythm you start in the beginning. So if you start with the double in, you actually got a triple on an angle here. That's why they put that post up, so we can't really cut across it. And then if you triple in, you get the double across. So
this isn't a goalpost, right? Because I'd be knocking it off the side now and missing the field goal. But right here, the post here, they keep it from cutting the corner. So
would you like to hit that with your
I don't
brake,
think
Broc,
you're, man, you hit this thing with your handlebar. This is going to be a big, man. But it's well off the track. But it's a big deterrent, no question about it. So coming through here, right here, this is about maybe number 12 of the ones I was talking about, and then we go 13, 14, all the way around the corner.
Yeah, and this is just literally a basic, I hate to say it, double, all the way around the corner. So
double. That's for lunch, buddy. That's it.
What's up, dude? Shut up, dude. Jet likes to psych me out with the jumps too every once in a while, you know? What are you laughing at, Christian? Huh? He's my title sponsor guy. Big money, you know?
Big money. You helping Phil out, putting food on the table, Jet?
I get 10% of all its win bonuses. I crush it, you know? What's up, Ugly?
It's like his saying, like, if he wins, I win.
Yeah. I don't even have to win out there. I'm dialed.
That's right.
Looks good, though, huh?
What do you think?
Looks fine. It actually looks like a good peaky track for once.
I think it'd be awesome. Oh.
It'll be
Yeah,
fun.
the guys are thinking it's going to be a minute lap time. Would you? Is that you prefer it a little bit longer like that with the?
I like it, yeah. It kind of creates more time, like just less laps, so that's just one good thing.
Yep, less laps, less lapping. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully we don't, like, lappers will be a little bit either more spread out or won't get to them as quick, hopefully.
So tell me what you were thinking. The last time we saw you guys
You are
on the
so
track.
ugly, dude.
I'm blocking out the haze.
Yeah, blocking out the
Blocking out the haze. So last time you guys raced together, Anaheim, he damn near won the second main event.
You notice that they
he's
put the
lucky
lights on.
I didn't see him after, because I didn't know. I was
You were jealous that I had the lights on my bike.
Yeah,
They actually thought I was going to lead more than Jet, so that's
they put
that's a
the
no-brainer.
lights on it.
and
That's
yet
it.
you still lost.
We were just talking about that. I cracked under pressure.
I seen that.
You know?
If I would have seen that at that time, I think I would have bashed you up.
Now you better have given me the win. You know, you have plenty of them.
Well, no, I don't get any percentage of that.
Yeah,
That
you
is-
get hey,
that is true.
does Jet get a
That's
percentage
true.
of your bonuses?
No. I don't make enough to
Yeah,
give
exactly.
them any. You know?
Say. Can't give away nothing.
What,
right?
Yeah, what's 10% of nothing? you
Exactly.
know?
Exactly it. So
Yeah.
so
That
Big-
looks good.
stock triple here. I think it's like 70 feet is what it measured out to. So not too bad. It's hard
Pretty
to.
basic.
Yep. I don't want 68 or 6.
Don't come up, dude.
That's right.
You know, dude. God, you gonna start hitting the weights here soon or what? You don't even have anything on there.
I do.
No, you don't. Still a little kid,
You don't know. That's
dude.
Dad bod.
Man strength.
Dad bod.
That's what
I
me
still
and Broc have man strength. You don't have that yet.
I'm
You know.
eating off.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk
What do you
about
think?
this little section
I gotta
right
do
here,
track
Phil.
walk stuff. I can't sit here and BS with you all
We
day.
can walk a whole track walk with you two guys in the banter. We'll hope to catch up with those guys later. So you and Jet obviously are good friends.
FYI,
You know-
Jed is a dumbass. You know, so he is. No, good kid though.
Great, exactly. The dad, the older, younger, too bold joke there. You know. So was he the one you were talking about? The guys that the 250 guys that turned their brain off.
Yeah, he's one of them.
Oh, he's
yeah,
one
no,
of them?
his
Okay.
brain's off all the time though. So that's
Okay.
why he goes so fast.
Exactly. So we land off this triple, a little longer run into this bowl right here. They got the Monster Energy, this banner behind us, or the tough blocks, but this thing's a pretty steep berm. I do see this grooving up. Yes, I mean yesterday it started to groove up a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's a long run, good block passing area, but if you're leading, you better frickin' protect the inside here, huh?
Yeah, I think it's the way it's open. The track is there's going to be a lot of pass corners and stuff. The way it just sets everything up. So I think it's awesome. But I don't agree with this here. I think they could have put another rhythm, but
Yeah,
keeps up.
it's kind of interesting because they got a little extra dirt over here. A little bit of sections. Feel like they're going to have to play with a
Yeah,
little bit.
okay,
This is a high
okay.
maintenance zone, big pile of dirt. They know that rutted up. The steeper they make the jump, the more it ruts up.
Yeah.
And this thing looks pretty darn.
I don't know what they were planning. I don't know if it came down. Yeah, slows it down a little bit.
Yep. So into this right here.
Brandon, how are you, buddy? Good.
He's taking one photo for a
Probably another 120 quarters. Quite the full. This now for the first set of whoops, and looking on this right here.
Yeah, I don't.
This is the first. We have two sets of whoops at this track here in Oakland. One's a dozer, built with dozer, and the other one's built with the loader.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are your thoughts? What's your preference in this particular set right here?
So I think the way they build the whoops now is different. They used to not even back a couple of years ago. They used to do it with the loader, and they used to be V'd out. Mm-hmm. So you could never really like roll them or jump through them. But now, these ones here, you can kind of already find a jump line through it, which I think race time, it'll be double to the inside roll 3-3, typical, you know, Cooper Webb style whoops. I don't think we'll be going outside really to skim these things, unfortunately.
Well, the ground we mentioned earlier is soft. They anticipated it being soft. It's not, doesn't have a whole lot of clay in it, so by making the whoops a little more rounded, they're trying to hope that they'll stay together a little bit more. Last week in Anaheim, we saw, or excuse me, Tampa, we saw the whoops become pretty treacherous, and it caught a few laps earlier. He gathered it up, saved it, and then 2-3 later, Chase Sexton hits the edge of one, spits his rear sideways, then he loses the front, goes down. And they got pretty tough last race. So
those whoops, like I said, I don't think they broke down as much because they're quite a bit harder. So
they're a little bit of a pad. They've probably got a foot or two underneath it in dirt. So right here, actually down to the stadium. So they have a little. This one's built on a pad. I noticed the other whoops too. They were almost down to the.
Oh, they were.
Closer versus lower.
Be pretty demanding. That's no doubt about it. So
it is. I mean, you find, what's your hardest section of the track physically for you? Is it the whoops?
Yeah, the whoop. Because for me, because I skim through whoops as much as I can. I don't obviously jumping's a lot easier. Heart rate can stay a bit more moderate, but I think tonight's definitely going to be tough, regardless.
Well, we're starting to see more and more riders come out. At first, when we first started the walk, because of the time difference, for one, they changed the track walk time yesterday, so maybe some people didn't see it. And then also, it's a 2 hour earlier schedule all the way across the board. The TV schedule's earlier, everything's earlier. So the main events, I mean, the first heat race starts at 5 local time instead of the usual 7.
Should be out of here by 8. I have a red eye tonight back to Charlotte.
Do
so
you really?
Oh
man, you got a red eye tonight. Good for you, man. You get to get home. Get back on your
That's
schedule.
if I can survive the longest dragons.
There you are, Dino. There's our last. Very good.
How are we?
There's our man from Houston. Very good. How are you doing, Dino?
Good. World record views from Houston when I did track walk. Oh my God. Dude.
Yep.
It went viral.
That's why Dunlop pays you the big
bucks,
bucks,
what I'm
right?
saying. I was showing my worth. I was giving out my secret lines and all that. And what do you think about the track?
It looks good.
You like these whoops?
Yeah, the whoops look good. I don't know about that 3-in over there, but everything else looks okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, even going 2-3, though, they're peaky boys over there.
Well, he's double all the way, so it's no big deal.
He's a whole shot master these days. You've seen him almost win that race, too.
Yeah, see? I know. I'm not the only one that was
that was pretty good.
Pretty excited.
Thank God, you've been doing sit-ups?
All right,
where's the dad bod?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Dad bod gone, and he's got six-pack abs, baby. All right, Dino.
This is the longest Dragons back in Supercross history right now.
Wow, I know. You look back at this Dragon back. This thing is twice as long as normal, isn't it?
That's okay, though. I think, obviously, it's all going to see how these whoops set up, because if you can triple out or double out, inside, roll.
So what's your thought on, Dragon back here? Obviously, you got 6 of them for this one. Normally, they're 4 or 5 at the most. But the 6th one, that's the critical one. You got to clip 5 and use 6 to launch to clear the double there before you go into that 180 bowl corner with the Dunlop tough blocks on the back there. So your thought, what are you doing? Are you spotting that 6th one and going, I just need to hit the top?
I don't even care. I don't even care about what's after. It's just making sure you're level and your bike is straight as soon as you take off the 6th one. So, but it's just like getting a normal set of whoops. It's nothing.
Yeah, well, level, that's right. Level and
that looks good.
Yep, clip it and then go over that. With Supercross suspension, even if you clip that jump, it barely doesn't upset. So.
The offs aren't as bad as what they used to be either. They used to have the offs pretty tall. They're pretty small now, so just in case you get poor sucker that wants to pick it with their front end. You know?
I don't want to see anybody hit the front end.
Unfortunately, it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
It's not if, it's when.
Yep, so coming in this corner, again, a little bit more run after the obstacle. This is quite a distance here,
Yes, and I like how they make it where you have to kind of come to the outside to get.
This got to be 25, maybe 30 feet before the berm. You normally don't see that much of a run in there, but it also sets up opportunities to get underneath and block pass, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. And it's not like you can really roll the dragons back either and go inside and kind of double or triple your way through the whoop. So you actually have to come out here and utilize the whole floor space.
You're going to have to be defensive here if there's somebody right behind you, certainly. If you open it up here and someone gets underneath you, and then if they both tangle, then you've got no run for these loader whoops here. So coming up on it, the first whoop you can see, you got some tire tracks from the loader there, but it's pretty mellow, the first one. Lets you get some speed up right here. And then get up on top of it here, so very good.
Yeah, they're not too bad for loader whoops, to be honest with you. I just, Alex Gillespie, owner of Dirtworks, and he says that the whoops are most likely going to break down tonight. So
yeah, they kind of, so talking to him also, they know that the dirt's soft. There's, you can't, I don't know. Yeah, you can't turn dirt like this. You can't just automatically add Adobe to it or something to firm them up. So they just got to go with what they material-wise. But they spent a lot of money cleaning up that dirt from back in early January and bringing all that new dirt in.
So
they worked hard.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah, I talked to the boys, and they just, like, as soon as they cleaned up at Tampa, they were on a 5.5 hour non-stopper here, and as soon as they landed at the airport, they were straight to the track to start working. So
it's a tough job.
Yep, it is. It's a lot of caffeine, huh?
Yeah.
So speaking of tracks, the first Oakland race, this is the 15th race of the Oakland this stadium, but the very first one was in 1979, and I was actually around there. I didn't ride the race, but I remember when it happened. That it was the first race in early January. They pretty much guessed it was going to rain. They made the whole Supercross track, some brilliant idea. They made the whole thing out of sand. And so talking about breaking down, you could, they put sort of moguls in there thinking it was going to be beach ball. But one fairly smart guy at Kawasaki realized that, you know what, this track is all sand. He went down and bought a vulcanized paddle tire, something you'd see in a sand dune video, and put it on the back of Jimmy Weinert's Kawasaki factory bike, shows up for the main event and wins the dang main event. So
if anyone's going to pull a move like that, it's Jammer.
Yeah, and he's another New York guy like you are. And you got it. You know Jimmy, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Jammer's a legend in our parts, and he grew up. I mean, he's probably an hour from me where I grew up. So he's obviously, I was too young to be around when he was racing, but his legend stories will go on forever.
Well, that paddle tire that day, that changed the rule book in AMA Supercross.
No more desert tires.
No more vulcanized paddles, and that's why now there's a limit of how high you can have your knob.
That's funny.
And with that being said, that was the one and only, but it won the race, and the guys behind them destroyed their tear-offs and their vision, and it was pretty amazing event. So back in 1979, the first Oakland Supercross ever. So coming off this whoop, got a little more than a 90 here, right into another busy section. What not let the guys ride this during press day. They don't let them ride the whoops, but this is going to be interesting.
I'm actually kind of surprised. They got this on, but to be able to go on 3 on off is almost impossible. I don't know if you can even see that with the camera.
Can you see what we're talking about there with that table?
Yeah, see after the people, the off is so high, it's about 4, maybe 6 inches taller than the table. So
everybody, we're about 2 minutes away from our ride.
So heading here, we got a knob right here, on off. Probably come out of the corner, you land up on the table here. You think you can get that?
I don't know.
That's pretty. What are you thinking? 2 and then use the table for the.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, 2 and 3, and then maybe a quad out is what it's kind of looking like. So
okay, I think 450s. It's hard to say, but I think 450s are probably going to get from that first jump up onto here.
I'm surprised that they have the lip on the right side, not on the left. Which is kind
the right side seems like the optimal line, and they're actually helping you. Which we'll see what happens. They always, they watch stuff as you talked about. And if it gets to be just one line, they'll tweak it. Make our way through this in here. utilize.
What's up, Jimmy D? How are you, buddy?
Yep. And no, these things are not. He's not slipping at all.
I got
man.
Dunlop
He
paddles
is.
on
Got some
slicks.
MX, got
You know,
MX14
yeah.
paddle on the bottom of there. All right. Yep, AP's cowboy boots. I don't know about those.
Yeah.
We'll see here. Ugh. Yeah, popular gathering point here. I
Yeah,
think
huh.
people are all talking about the same thing we're talking about. It's not really sure what people. This is just going to be feel it out, I think, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be on off. Pretty
Yep.
quad.
Okay.
Most likely.
That's what I was looking at.
So this is a three or a 3-3 lanes back and forth, especially this football stadiums. This one, because of the huge field that we have, the surface of the stadium, it actually, I counted 11 different runs. And some of them are angular, some of them are straight.
Yeah.
But this is a really busy, busy layout, and it has a lot. We talked about a lot of dirt, 7,000 yards.
Yeah,
So
there's not much rest
Yeah.
on this track, to be honest with you.
it's pretty jumpy and pretty. It's gonna.
And add all the ruts and stuff that are going to come into play. I think it's, I
Yep.
think people are in for a wild night.
Yeah, let's
You gonna
walk.
make me
Yep.
walk that finish line?
No, you already showed. You already showed us. You got.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go right here.
Yeah.
It's already muddy enough.
Broc's a lot more.
When you
Yeah.
practice session there. So off the finish line here. Most everybody yesterday during press day, they were using this double, and
A lot of them are going 3 single, 2.
Yeah,
But I don't
okay.
know. Maybe somebody will get a little
yeah.
wild hair and maybe try quadding it, but they better put a net in the other side of that berm. just
Yeah,
in
that's
case.
no question. If you look at the section right here, if you want to come on up, there you go. All right, because if there is, you talk about triple, and then single into the berm, and then in press day they had them doing a 180 off of that berm in the distance. But this track today goes across in front of the starting gate, so
Yeah.
we'll go check that out before the riders. Yep. Single, okay, yeah. Between third here, we talk about lengths of pockets and things. This is very, very gradual, so no question, tripling it wide, pretty easy shot into the corner
Yeah.
and right off of that berm, correct?
Pretty basic.
Okay, well, we'll cut here.
It's good. Thanks for doing. Thanks. No, I'll triple come the main time.
Okay,
What
double,
do you
double.
think?
I just hope they.
Good job last week, man.
Yeah.
Race, you got it, buddy. Another one of Phil's wrecking crew right there, man. Cooper Webb, good
Hey, how are you, buddy?
wins last week. That was awesome ride. Had a really good run.
Huh?
Thanks, Tim. Let me pray for you, and then we'll get started with the.
No,
with the
I'm
second
off.
Service. Let's just pray real
Yeah.
quick. God, thanks for this morning.
What's up, B? Right? How are you, buddy? Good, good. Nah, I know you're hood.
So, dude, with all the people you hang out with, you got Jet Lawrence, the young buck. You got Cooper Webb that you ride with and know very well. I think some of this would rub off on you. man.
No.
Is that what
no,
happened?
no,
in
no.
that
I rub
second
off
heat?
on them. That's why they're so gnarly, you know.
Oh, that's what
I
it-
just don't have the riding skill. That's the
That's
problem.
right. Well,
You know?
hey, you made a hell of a living at it for a long time, and
Yeah,
we all
no.
really enjoy it.
No.
So coming across the starting line right here in front of the gate, mechanics area, everybody's going to see, and then right here into a complete wall.
Mm-hmm.
This thing is nearly vertical.
I just want to. Looks.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
You walk up that thing, because if you do, I'm going to
No.
have the Dunlop guys make tires out of whatever you got
No.
on the bottom of those, because that thing's straight up and down.
Yeah, it's gonna get rutted too.
Yeah, it's
gonna
going to be
gnarly.
And also, if you're following somebody and they just grab a handful of
Yeah,
clutch,
you
you're
get-
just buried on your. Yep. So right here, you're going to see a million tear-offs laying on the ground all through here. So, but the one part about this little section, talk about it. too. This, they've routed the track. If you can come over here with the camera, this isn't a straight shot coming off of this wall jump. They curve and send you back out almost to the finish line jump, even though the next corner is a very sharp first corner where we come right back on. So that being said, look where it's going to send you out in this next corner. It's going to give a bunch of passing opportunities for squaring people up, double apexing, all sorts of different opportunities.
It's going to be a lot of passing. So every time you walk the track, you try and pick out 3 passing points if possible, you know. But here it's almost like every corner almost set it up. So yeah.
When you walked the track with us today, Phil, what if you had to say your 3 passing points? Then you said it. Where would you say? Here's one for certain.
Yep. Here's one before the whoops, right after the Dragon's back. I just think it'd be super easy to be able to set up. It's racy, so like you said, you can get different apexes and set riders up, you know, a couple corners in advance and try and set up the pass. So I think tonight's going to be a wild night of racing, to be honest with you. The way the rhythms are, the way the dirt's going to form, so it should be fun.
Well, awesome. So that completes, we're back in the first corner right here. That completes 1 full lap of the Oakland Stadium tonight. And Phil Nicoletti, Instagram, you're Phil_Nicoletti, right?
Yep.
Follow Phil on, and everybody's got to see you on all the shows. Mathis' Pulp MX. We're all just big fans of yours.
Yeah,
so
no, I appreciate it.
great to have you, and thank you for joining us on the Dunlop Motorcycle Tires Track Walk. And if you follow me, hey, we're following each other. So at MX Golden Boy is my Instagram. So thank you so much, and tune in next week. We're back heading east towards Arlington, Texas. We'll have another great guest co-host, and we'll see you then.